Another day means another tech subject. And what's the subject today on the hot sizzling platter of tech? Well, today we're going to be talking to you guys about 5 reasons why you'd actually want to go out and buy yourself a Mac. Now, we made a video very shortly ago where we said there's, 5 reasons why PC guys absolutely just can't stand, Macs. But now we're going to tell you guys 5 reasons why people do like Macs and why there are 5 reasons why you may want to consider buying a Mac for yourself. Now, the 5th reason is really about the simplicity of the design. And that doesn't matter whether you're talking about their laptops, whether you're talking about their iMacs. You're either a fan of the ecosystem and the look and everything about what's going on with the Macs and all that stuff, or you're really not. You're not going to get, like we said in the other video, you're not going to get a whole lot of different choices. You're not going to be able to customize the colors and do all this crazy stuff. Unless you're talking about an iPhone, they come in a bunch of colors. But as far as, we're talking about, workflow and talking about actual computers, we're talking about Macs. We're talking about Mac laptops, we're talking about iMacs, all that good stuff. And the design is very, very simple. They're really elegant the way they look. They have very nice screens. Everything that you need comes inside the box. You get your screen, your mouse, your keyboard. Everything is right there. You don't have to worry about going out and buying this stuff and doing the research and going, oh, well, is this the one I want? No, because if you have owned a Mac before, a lot of people really love the stuff that comes right in the box. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of, I know Jonathan TLD always gets a different Logitech mouse and I usually do too. I'm not a fan of their mouse. Their keyboard is cool, but like I said, the number 5 reason for people to go out and buy a Mac is if you don't want to have to worry about all these different designs, you want something simple, elegant, you know what it's going to look like, you know what it's going to do, then you know what? A Mac might just be what you're looking for. Now, number 4, I think I'm going to probably run into a bunch of crazy comments down below because I've seen people post videos all over the place saying, oh my God, it's horrible. But honestly, I've had nothing but luck with Apple customer support. Now, people say that, they don't support any of their old stuff. What it seems like to me is if stuff is really over 5 years old and they don't have the stuff right there at the Genius Bar, right there where you're taking your computer to be repaired at, then most likely you're probably not going to be able to get service for it. They're going to make you take it to a third-party place. But my experience so far has been nothing but great with Apple support, and I know that a lot of other people feel the same way. Now, here's one thing you have to definitely take in consideration. You're not going to walk in there usually, drop your computer off, and then walk right out 5 minutes later. If you go there and they test your system out on the spot and it's something that they can fix really quick and you'll get lucky, then yes. If it's any kind of mechanical problem though, you're going to have to drop off your Mac and leave it there for a few days. But check this out. I have recently had a few problems with my iMacs. I don't know what the heck was up with it. I think we had a really bad external drive that just was wiping them out. We got rid of that. Seemed to get rid of the problem. But on one of the Macs, one of the spaces where you put the memory inside of it, one of the connections in there was bad. And mind you, this is not a brand new Mac. We're in 2019. This is a 2015 iMac. They completely did all of the work, everything, did not charge me a single dime. The last time I had a problem with my Mac, I actually screwed up and I deleted all the stuff off my hard drive, and the guy on the phone was like, well, I didn't say to do that, and it was completely my fault. But they help me as much as they can. I feel personally that Apple support is really good in a lot of different ways. I know that some people have obviously had some experience. I think even Linus from Linus, Tech Tips, even had some crazy story about their experience. But I cannot personally say that I've had anything but a good experience. And most of the guys who I know who have Macs all feel the same way. I feel that number 4 is definitely support from the people over at Apple. They've always taken care of me. Like I said, obviously there's some stories out there, but I've had nothing but great service, and many other people feel the same way. And if you purchase their Apple Care program, your service gets even better. Now, mind you, like I said, everything that I had worked on was out of warranty. There was no Apple Care. Absolutely nothing. And both in the Mac behind me and the one that Mr. Jesus the cameraman uses for doing all the editing, they took care of both of those computers for absolutely no money. It took them a few days and they held on to the Macs while they checked them out, but we got them back, everything worked fine, and we didn't need to have to spend any money out of pocket. Plus, a lot of times takes it to PC stuff, they're looking around, well, does this part work? Does this part work? Does this part work? The entire really thing about the Mac is they only use certain parts so that they know what will work, and that way they can figure out pretty quick what's wrong. Now, number 3, this is something that I feel really strongly about, and I've mentioned this before in other videos, that sometimes the proprietary software that only works on Macs is, let's just face it, it's kicking butt software. I gotta tell you, I love Logic. Logic is my absolute favorite place in the world to make music. I just love it. For me, the workflow, everything about it is really great. For doing videos and all that stuff, Final Cut Pro is the place to be. That's where we use it at. And it's actually been proven a lot of times that doing the editing and stuff like that actually does work better on a Mac. Now, sure, you can do it all on a PC. That's true. But let's just face it. Some of the software on a Mac is just really good stuff. So some of their proprietary software, even though it doesn't work on a PC or anywhere else, it does work on a Mac and it works great. I mean, that's just the way it is. Like, I wouldn't give up using the 2 programs that I really use heavily just to have a PC. I'm gonna have to go out and buy that Mac because, like I said, Logic for me records great music. There's been tons and tons of albums out there that are doing it. If you go into most recording studios these days, you're gonna find them with the Mac. You'll find some PCs in there for people who have, if they have Pro Tools HD, they might have some PCs in there, but most people who are using Logic and stuff, they're always going to be having really nice Macs. And even many people who are using Pro Tools are still using Macs to do that stuff with. So software sometimes can be a definite thing. And for me, the 3rd biggest reason to buy a Mac is definitely the software involved with using that ecosystem. Now, the number 2 reason for buying a Mac definitely has to be workflow and the ease of use. Now, a lot of people might not realize this, but the keystrokes and the shortcuts on a Mac are shorter than a PC. On a Mac, it's usually just 2 keystrokes to make a shortcut, where, on a PC like Control-Delete, there's 3 of them. So just right there alone, that extra keystroke in the long run saves you a lot of different time. And being able to work on a really nice monitor on an iMac and stuff, the workflow is just really, really nice. You have this big 5K monitor, you can have your 4K video, you can have the audio up, you can have all this stuff on your screen, making your workflow just go really smoothly. And because, like I said, the software and everything is integrated, to work on your Mac, everything is going to work a lot better together. So your workflow on a Mac is just going to be really nice. I mean, let's just face it, people in the workplace really like to use Macs to do their work, and there's a reason for that. I feel really PCs, for the most part, are to have fun. Macs are to work on. I have Macs, and if you're going to be using your computer to make money on, most likely you're going to be using a Mac. Now, there are some people out there who do 3D video and they have these big giant rendering houses, and a lot of those guys, they are using, PC type of stuff. But for the general guy at his house, for workflow, an Apple computer can just be really, really nice. I love my iMacs for that particular fact. So there you have it. Number 2 is definitely workflow, ease of use. Another thing is when you're installing programs and stuff on a Mac, it's either going to install where it's supposed to go, or it's not going to go on there at all. So it's really hard to make errors that way. And deleting stuff, you don't have to go in and go find a program and go, okay, delete program. You just go in, click on the program, drag it, drop it in the trash, and you're good to go. So definitely workflow, ease of use is number 2. Now, the absolute number 1 reason, though, that I feel to buy a Mac is reliability and stability. And that's right. Now, a lot of people might be going, oh, dude, come on, my PC is stable. Okay. It is very possible to build yourself a PC that is stable. That is true. I'm not going to doubt that. But there's a reason why when they go on the space program, they're using stuff that's based off a Linux-based system, not a DOS-based system. And let's just face it, the OS that's on a Mac and the laptops and all that stuff, it's based off of a Linux type kernel. It's not a DOS type thing like of Windows, and that's just a lot more stable. I've had my Mac computer shut off a lot, even in a storm with lightning and stuff, and usually when I boot it back up, my programs are there. You might have to do a little fiddling with the repair, but I've never actually lost all my information except for by a mistake that I did myself by not knowing exactly what I was doing when I was really new to my Mac. And reliability, I rarely ever have any problems with my Macs, whether it's going to be my laptop or it's going to be my desktop iMac. They just work, and they work for a long time. They're a serious workhorse. And number one, and like I said, I feel this is a very strong point. If you're looking for something that's going to work for you a lot, let's just put it this way. You're a musician. You've spent months working on this song that you've been doing, and all of a sudden the electricity goes out and you get a hard stop on your PC. A lot of times the information, when you try to boot it back up, will be corrupt and won't be there. On a Mac, it's very highly unlikely that you're going to lose that same information. Chances are 9 times out of 10 that all your information is going to be there. Plus, when I go talk about reliability and stability, everybody knows that not many people write viruses for Mac. Sure, it's out there, but it's a very rare bird. So you don't have to worry about, any kind of, fake virus security programs or any of that type of stuff on a Mac whatsoever. People really don't make viruses, so you don't have to worry about checking your email and getting a virus in it, because it really rarely ever happens. That's just the way it is. So there you have it, folks. So if you're somebody out there, most of my audience, I think, is very familiar with both the Mac world and the PC world. But if you're somebody out there and you're like, hey, I've really been considering whether I should buy myself a Mac or a PC. Here's what to take in consideration, really. The bottom line is this. Macs are very simple. You buy a Mac, it's there. You get what you want on it, you go work on it. You don't worry about changing things out in it. You don't really worry about it. All the updates are very automatic and simply done. You don't have to worry about something that you update, making your computer run worse or make it, all of a sudden go out of service. You just don't have those things to worry about. If you're looking for something just to carry around, do business on, it's not going to cost you a lot of money. You're not too worried about if maybe a file or two gets lost because it's nothing too technical, then a PC is going to save you a lot of money, and it might be just perfect for you. But if you require workflow, you require stability, you want to use some leading edge software that is really intuitive and easy to work with, then definitely Mac is something you should be checking out. I'm Eric. You've been watching Tech Tomorrow. Like usual, I always want to hear your guys' opinion because I love to hear what you say. Maybe you guys have 10 more reasons that you want. Maybe you got a few you don't. But hey, I always want to hear them. If you're not subbed to the channel, hey, make sure you do so. We have a Patreon site if you want to support us, and make sure that you have notifications turned on so that you can get notified. Peace.